ECOWAS asking the military coup d'etat leaders in Niger to restore back Mohamed Bazoum simply means they lack common sense. Our leaders lack common sense. If the military coup d'etat leaders in Niger restore back Mohamed Bazoum, it means they are signing their own death warrant. Because in every democratic country, the penalty for coup d'etat is death. So if they restore back Mohamed Bazoum will use the constitution against the coup d'etat leaders. And that is why whenever there is a coup d'etat, they always suspend the constitution. Because you cannot orchestrate coup d'etat at the same time use the old constitution, because the old constitution is against coup d'etat. So ECOWAS leaders should use their brains for once. The issue about restoring back Mohamed Bazoum shouldn't be discussed. That is not going to happen. If they restore back Mohamed Bazoum, that will be the most stupid thing they've ever done. The military coup d'etat leaders will never allow that to happen. So ECOWAS leaders, please use your brains for once. Thank you.
Right, ebusianfo me mamu nyina akwa babesere se wonya ba so anbomode na share na like send be adwumadi ebetimi akonanim. How is your weekend and how are you doing? Na dey me ne Timo Media ehia. Ye ba be discuss dia ekoso di journey Burkina Munia di coup na ekoso no. Ye ba be discuss. Na mo amunim Timo Media no. Timo Media you be ono so no me can say he is a social media person. Eba ewiase nyina amanyosem ne pan Africanism wa oyobi a oti asiedi mu akotene pa enti menche ho kra mpo no mame fa ne mra so na yemfa dwumadie no enshase just a minute. All right, yes, yeah, Timo me mo akwa
ba me Joseph Freemind me jiri sam hoye
bibia boko de menua
boko me hoya pa.
Right. And then me video no yeah start binti no I am streaming only on YouTube and later na me streaming on Facebook. Inti I am fan is yen shase why.
Okay, good.
You see I check me bag Ghana me fresh when you have a time. Charlie, why you busy? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right, busia for best rebi mu se munyina wa se munya baso amon share na mo like na dwumadi no. Etimi nkonanim. Timo Media na me nsa aka no no oyobi a menua eba geopolitics. Pan African news ene nia ekoso wiase afa na nyina Russia Ukraine war ni ade a odi mu akotene pa. Me no aba live ha I think say about 3 times or so. So this will be about the 4th time wa me sanso ne no ehia wa ha. Timo, for the past few years, there's been some growing trends in Africa, West Africa. Kuno Shasie Ewo Guinea. I think say I think Gambia. Mali won. Okay, Mali and I think say Guinea, Burkina Faso, Moni Adina say Niger so ababetoso. Now also what you be eba sansem na udi mu akotene me pese me bisa o de na ekoso de pa na ekoso sa coup d'etat ya AC or West Africa. What is the main cause of the coup d'etat?
The ekoso coup d'etat no clear example ADC wa Ghana say muni mabai we niema o ya is I think say a replica of whatever is happening in the Francophone countries. But in the case of the Francophone countries, they are very worse. We mismanagement of their government in all the Francophone countries, are enslaved. Before say France was more independent, almost for signing a pact called the Colonial Pact or a treaty called the Colonial Pact. Now, in the Colonial Pact, forced all the Francophone countries to surrender all their resources to France. And France debate me about a resource. Maybe I mean funny say you're too good. Maybe a £1, maybe a ton, maybe a better $1 million. And France debate me as a meta than 30,000. And the Francophone countries have no option than to sell this resource to France. France is the only country who have the right to buy the resource. I just say France as a resource, mempe. And Sanomukul is net mason, and Sanomukul is net maton, the amo before from. Ebo musika sema entiro moda sudi francophone sefa no enkuro mo independent ade entiro moda sudi sefa Cote d'Ivoire sefa Burkina Faso sefa abro mo independent Now we say no so free wa omo mine no omo GDP total GDP sika omo be didi nyina omo tax omo resource sika bi ombenya bia no sika no e was omo di mu 85% ekoto France Central Bank na 15% na aka omo di abo omo mine no ho bra now 85% omo koto France Central Bank no se sika no mu hia France esa de bo omo bosia
wow
ono adi sika ono adi akwakoto bank no France and first kind man. I just saw no kobo sikana bosiano. We have France as agent interest. In addition, and tia never be bring akeka boma amai we buafu yo mo so mo independence from France. And intina da kwano nkroma Ahmed Sakaturi aka say now my independence and I say would the t-shirts amwadi we ase dia any independence on one farm akra sanka fanyina. And Ahmed Sakaturi mo aka say sansem hunu ne die omuntintu. And into more targeted Guinea economy back in the 60s. And to where Guinea economy crumple collapse, and a map and chroma ma Guinea Conakry 20 million pounds. And
no Ghana podcast and come say sika ni ade no me kai sa story no pa yeah.
What time Ghana sika dia koma Guinea then as for 20 million pounds and the sanitation minister ni pa ba akokora pack guni dem. Yenti kroma na obi timitam $45 million. Send me the you got them. And so Kwame Nkrumah is just 20 million per and the Kobua Guinea our for money yaku. Almost so much quapino. And here never be bribe na keka boma and go for we ebuafu. Now our leaders here was uncruing in Aswa. Leaders, you know, I see them as Europeans who are in dark skin. So they are kind of like Western puppets. And France are buying the do musi abamu or the omoba bamu. So tell be France will interest. And to Obana say, oh yeah, dear France pa omobemu and also Memoir Koswa president. Into where Alassane Ouattara was supposed to be president just for 1 term. Now Alassane Ouattara ran the 3rd term were valid to constitutional or rather for more. Because well Cote d'Ivoire constitutional will be over 70 years and say will be the president. Now, Alassane Ouattara for 70 years. Still now the city. So that guy was supposed to run for only 1 term. He still ran. And then to Laurent Gbagbo, every one. We hope it is Alpha Conde because he was a good puppet. Because he was serving the interests of France. Alpha Conde of Guinea. And into also violative constitution and also a call for more terms. And then Amad Dumbuya, Ebabe Nifra, and eventually Akwa so your friend Sankra. We saw a tune at the free Nigerian and say Mohamed Bazoum.
Yes.
Bazoum, honestly, a West pure puppet. And Tinkwafona Bre and Omutu to some minor Ide Agu. So that is actually what is happening. All the so-called Francophone countries.
I see. Now, some people are of the opinion say near Ecoso in Russia for the chassis and Russia for the Shamukutu Passe or Muntua Benguniade. A dear Basemna Obekan Fam.
Let me quote United States, Anthony Blinken, or the Secretary of State. Now, Anthony Blinken said the cost on Russia for and chassis. And the fact is, no, say Russia for a chassis. Now, Russia for no are taking advantage of whatever is happening, right? To also execute their interest in Africa here. So they are only taking advantage. But Russia for an Amasa Kruno, Akunya. Or my mom of them, kind of so my mom of them say on bit my quantity of mine because of say or my mom some security guarantees. They say, look, we are there to support you. And the man Kruna can soon and I have them almost so mine. So near Russia for and sponsor almost to be a Russia for no mom are taking advantage, and these countries are doing that because of say or more some security guarantees from the Russians, especially the Wagner. So and yet Russia couldn't show much.
I see. Now, who you see, French President Emmanuel Macron can say, you will say, the interest of France in Niger will never ever be threatened. Now, say on Paris, Emma, their interest in Niger, young question, and I say, young free hop. Timo, me pesa ye tears here because. In fact, how can a country over thousands of miles away be having interest in an African country to the point they say, Or my phone prampo say or more bremo kokra attention I will say mu interest in Timo nko. Timo, what is the interest of France in Niger? Chichire mu ye na Ghana for nantiase.
Okay, France interested when Niger and France and the whole of Western Europe. But
Okay.
France in the Jim continent. Now, I never be because France a woeful. DAC war the so-called francophone countries, about affected France economy badly. Because France and Kwa make over 500 billion US dollars from the francophone countries in West Africa here. Over 500 billion dollars
500 billion
500 billion, yes, from
annually.
West Africa. Annually, yes, that is the fact.
What?
500 billion, abra, and for no crime, sucro, mobenum, hokram poeting, need steady electricity. I mean, things are really going bad for them, whilst France is making over 500 billion. Because all the francophone countries, Freemind, Adia and they said they are direct slaves of, the West and America. So France make over 500 billion, and since I'm crew we that means that France is going to lose 500 billion. And another thing, so they say, because of say in Kuruna Africa, you see the francophone safer, it make France currency very strong. Now, some crew we now says some crew we started so move so man currency. Everything will repatriate back to France. All the currencies now might go African. What happens to it? Everything have to go back. And if there's too much money in the system, it causes inflation. So there'll be massive inflation in France if you could Africa totally from France. That is why France is deeply interested. Another reason is electricity. Because over uranium, France for nuclear energy. France for Germano, Yomoka, Eka say Russia for no energy beam. We all know say Nord Stream 2 now a pipeline free Russia and they call Western Europe. See, almost gas in the beam. Almost say gas no beam. Because of say war nuclear energy and to uranium free Niger. Anything Russia for no they see in a game. That is why the Russians are also interested in Niger. And to say Niger, could Russia for Russia for no bit market that uranium to France, making France very vulnerable, and that is going to affect France's economy badly. Right now, we uranium needs to free war with the electricity side needs to free war. Now, Western Europe AC pipeline, free Warri, Nigeria, which is natural gas from Warri, Nigeria, all the way to Western Europe, which is natural gas. Russia natural gas. Now, say, Oma nyasa gas na winter neba no. Awo be di omo be kire omo. Enti omu nyasa gas na free Warri, Nigeria no. Those omunya gas need be free baby, but and so they need more. So omu build a pipeline all the way from Warri, Nigeria. But rather unfortunate for them, pipeline end up Niger. Yeah, ekwa Algeria, ekopi Western Europe. And it is a pipeline now at that home that Niger, say omu share Nigeria before Niger with master who project, on bit more blown up. Yeah, I will bet the young mama I work woman. So almost more interest when you get because of say pipeline, uranium, money. So there are a lot of reasons why France and Western Europe and our interest when you get to the whole of Western Europe, and into America for the EU, because of that pipeline, and very, 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 very crucial to Western Europe. Winter, if it's over last year now more reserves, or more Russian gas before say ansana or mobile German say gas in the view. City gas on winter last year no use we aside. See new one and on Baba Fano, Omunya be also Nigeria, Omunya do Nigeria. And into Nigeria, young Benya sa gas and into more money up in Nigeria.
Wow. Timo. ECOWAS, Obu Chairman, Bola Tinubu, na German Penny Babonti Beka say, Omoma the military junta in Niger 1 week ultimatum say they should reinstate Bazoum, and yes, they are going to call for military action in Niger. 1 week HM, she a soldier for na Omunyam Fanko. Do you think ECOWAS will send troops to Niger? And if they do, what will be the implications of that?
Number one, ECOWAS need the military capability to invade Niger militarily. Niger in Togo. One thing people must understand. Now, if you look at, there are many reasons why ECOWAS or invading Nigeria on succeeded. The terrain, one place, most of the ECOWAS troops are not familiar with the terrain. Apart from Nigeria, Marcus said they are familiar with the desert terrain, because they've been fighting insurgents in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, over Ghana soldiers here, who desert that, see desert, so you are not familiar with the terrain.
Yes.
That is one reason why military and Kasa perform very pointing and saying no use mercenary groups in war, because they take locals, people from the terrain and Kasa terrain national. Number one, ECOWAS ebefeli. One, because of terrain. Number two, Nigerians also at the Wagner group. Wagner group is not present in Niger. Ghana had on fighter jet war MCF4P. And also
the whole Ghana. The whole Ghana. Oh my God, more than $1 million going to them no. Fighter jets are Ghana where 4P.
F4 and I know Kurampo Bema and then rolling some more time with you need to Kurampo. Dear Namane, we see Ghana, you need even 1 4th generation fighter jet. Your best fighter jet, I walk Kurampo, your 3rd generation. Even and now you do 5th generation fighter jets, you need to. So how do you fight against a country like or how do you fight against people like the Wagner group? Once more 4th generation fighter jets, I brought more modern equipment. And maybe a helicopters a military in walk into 10. I dare the Ghana military say you even provide even more than 10 helicopters. And in modern warfare, we even got time helicopters to you blue no to train a check. So anyway, I mean with ECOWAS and one, they don't have the military capability. Two, they are not familiar with the terrain. And number three, so we invading Nigeria, it is going to destabilize the whole of the Sahel region. Now, when Nigeria now, Mali, I want to left, and now we Burkina Faso were down. We Guinea Conakry next to Mali, and all these countries, they've promised to say, "Omo be protecting Niger," because some Krona actually Niger who share. You know, can we say Niger won't fin? What time map on now? Niger won't fin, and I'm Krona actually share. You know. Omunyina we interest on Niger. If it's a some crony in a coup d'etat, now France a training rebel groups, with Niger, what they attack the neighbors, and to some crony military coup d'etat on Niger, almost pay because of said the terrorist groups are not France and then Western a training Nigerian, so they want the military government to take over. Almost what I want to say ECOWAS and Sunim. Nasa what the military, and also invading Nigeria, almost also be intervening militarily to support their brothers, because they don't want Niger to fall under the hands of the West again. So that will have huge implications on West Africa. Now we would turn our continent to a battlefield. Say we are going to find ourselves in geopolitical conflict like Ukraine is now. Ukraine for Ukraine, they are supported by the West, while they are fighting against Russia. Russia is also supported by China and other powers. And to say ECOWAS, West never supported ECOWAS, whilst Russia and China ever supported the military government. Then we will turn our whole region into a battlefield for the superpowers there not to fight.
Proxy war.
We'll find ourselves in proxy conflict. We will end up fighting for the superpowers up there, just like Vietnam did back in the 60s. So I don't think it will be wise for ECOWAS to intervene militarily. So there were huge implications. ECOWAS try say what the military back Nigeria. Now, the mobile crampo says, I'm Cocrafone away ECOWAS no way did money or Pobia of Cameroon, Nantia when anything, Casa when anything. Do that guy fall like ECOWAS? I don't even know where Cameroon for right now. Whether Central Africa, whether Africa, because they are kind of like confused people. Now waiting a book. When you know Casa when anything, Nantia anything. na nado so kura okutwa sword kura wo hunu sword no kura mpo no akate ono to anada akokora ngwa ba ko so Alasan Ouattara so do tiko di way no so over 80 years ono so kwa honhono ohu di oye no. So this are a bunch of old men who ECOWAS wa omudi nsempunu bebre. So I don't think say ye youth no krampo e wa Africa na wase apenama wesi fi say we mama nyinyini ento mu nyina begu. And one interesting thing so ne say sa ECOWAS leaders ni nyina no enye say the anti wo Niger no na omo di democracy di da bi omo suro say the AC wo these francophone countries would definitely come down to their own region, because a lot of people are rising up. Note back in the 70s and 80s, Rollins Muyu Ghana Hano motivate Thomas Sankara mo Burkina Faso also take the same approach. Notice Akwa we are friend is saying Kotukamu Yeku Ghana no motivate Nigeria for Momusu be Yeku tia the lives of Abubakar Tafawa Belewanam. So the history of coup d'etat South Africa and says so Kurobi coup d'etat and Kurobi coup d'etat. That is the history over here West Africa Hanumana. In Tinkrone coup d'etat number the coup d'etat number toso akoso. What you say? And in Tina ECOWAS leaders in Susuru say Oma ne Bibia Ade we know Ebeto akoso they will be the next. They will take them out. They will clear them. And Mohamed Bazoum will never come back to power. Obiantuna Binmunda. I mean Serana Midi Kaka say Ebi Sida Obian will be coup d'etat or Basa Kotam President Nasa Besusu.
For what?
What Qatar President Besusu Wangasa was signed with death warrant because Constitution Piano Ekutia coup d'etat and penalty for coup d'etat no AU. And to say what the Mohamed Bazoum Saba or Baba used to Constitution by the same constitution and Mohamed Bazoum Sube you see the same constitution against the coup d'etat leaders. And one interesting thing so the coup d'etat leaders are threatening ECOWAS say omu nimna so the soldier fosi Nigeria omu beku Mohamed Bazoum and ECOWAS so antoko omo ku nyina ne say omo so omo ko e dia ade Mohamed Bazoum no so no ka hu say coup d'etat leaders no akache. Enti omu nim na so mu si Nigeria na omu betwa ne sakrama to akene. That is the first one Kadiama. Yes. That's the first one on Kadiama ECOWAS leaders.
Now Timo, so here situation na Niger ye Krobia America for base. On Niger, France for base on Niger. Why are they not going in to try to intervene? Because they have bases there. Why are they pushing the West? How do I call it? The ECOWAS, and they are not sending their soldiers straight to the battlefield to go and fight for them. Why are they not trying to intervene?
Because among say Jimmy, so that is one. That is how they see us. Because omo person omo yusu the omo yen wala kodi gwa kan say Laurent Gbagbo time no omo yusu ECOWAS against Laurent Gbagbo and to my ebida. Number two, America always read the mood before they intervene. They make sure say they demonize you in the media. They make you look evil in the media. Then they will get grounds to intervene. We are seeing said they are fighting for democracy. Now, number two, so say Russia-Ukraine war no, and so agree po mokakra. Every say mokachiri we are seeing say Russia nipa bone nipa bone for invade a sovereign country, right?
Yeah.
And so we interview militarily in so Nigeria. We also be so almost a question. And now when say Russia for no any kwan so Ukraine. So they want to look good in the eyes of the rest of the world. Then they will use ECOWAS against Niger so that the whole thing will look like say and you're going to share. I see what baby over Libya, America for by Libya, no more use Libya for Nabi equity or Momoko Vietnam, or more use South Vietnam against North Vietnam, or Momoko China, Moko use China for population Libya against themselves. So that is how American fight. They always use your own people against you in many ways. They make sure they demonize you, they paint you black to instigate some of your own people against you. But this time around, Oma Komabre and media and say Muno Mokanina no be anti-homo. So that is the only difference. And one interesting thing, so they say, okay, yeah, West Africa, Hana. Leaders any decisions to know take, I've not come across anybody or support ECOWAS. All the citizens of ECOWAS, they are totally against the leadership. Say, we will be on Niger. So that is the difference here. You see, back in the days,
apart from Gambia, I think say apart from Gambia president, them say OBBA anywhere so Famatis will support the intervention of ECOWAS game. Only Gambia mampeni pe. You're trying to say, is it
Gambia had similar incidents. That is one thing you must note. Okay, in 2016, brah. You too. Yaya Jamin. Also very good. You too. Yaya Jamin free ideas, no. ECOWAS for the troops. Echo Gambia. Echo Huno Mosana Yaya Jamin too. And to Omoka, some bet might see the same strategy. Now we have Gambia on the map. Gambia is a small country compared to Niger, compared to country like Mali. Niger is the 5th largest country in Africa, almost so far Niger. So to invade Niger is not going to be easy. You can't conquer Niger. Gambia is a small country. So I think it is well known say over Gambia they have similar incidents. So it is obvious to say they will support because President now the same incident in the power. So I don't think it's say will behave with her. So I'm not surprised, in fact, because they are then about power. ECOWAS not then about power. Obviously, are not supposed to support ECOWAS. So I'm not surprised.
Now, officer near Asia and also near Air Kosui, is it going to solve the underlying problem of sending the French back to their country, saying driving the French away from Africa? Now, Yankele, that French influence in Africa, is it going to solve that problem? And I said, it is just going to be a 9-day wonder. Said Niger coup, SEC, maybe a chimney at the banning. Now, that's a uncle will see baby. I did run in Simbre Soba, Thomas Sankara Muina, Uncle Sishi. If he said, we insono, Uncle Sishi, and I said, we dear, Ebequama, Africa, Francophone side, or more etimi at the or more every year French phone.
I think the coup d'etat at a different. Now, Obi am function to say coup d'etat we in coup d'etat Western America no isuru. And into no more kasano. Most of the coup d'etats are now Africa, Western America no support here. Omujitumu. Omo Crampo provided weapons. Mobutu Sese Seko. And you see, Thomas Sankara and Rollins, they find themselves in the midst of bad coup d'etats. Ubenya Ukrobe coup d'etats by then, but now most of them were Western puppets. Most of them the Western and sponsor that coup d'etat. So the likes of Thomas Sankara and Rollins, they find themselves, they were good, but they find themselves in a wrong time. Now, this current coup d'etats, coup d'etat leaders and Ankasan are working together. That makes it more dangerous. Back in the days in Ghana, coup d'etat, young one coup d'etat, will be unfound. But this time around, who won't almost supporting the coup d'etat countries. Number 2, now you coup d'etat, you have no option than to work with the same Western America because they control all the financial institutions like the World Bank, IMF. You can't isolate your economy. And to your coup d'etat, and what's the same IMF and the World Bank, you still have to work with them. Now, this time around, we are in a multipolar world. We are not in a unipolar world again. Now, the coup d'etat leaders have an option to either work with the Western America or they will not work with them. Opa uno munye jumakura, omopa mao sika. Opa IMF no be free asia, opa World Bank no be UT, China wo Russia wo ono mo betima ye juma. Enti the way dangerous and say the coup d'etat leaders and also coup d'etat countries have an opportunity to be independent with or without the Western American. Still now omobetimi aye den abu omo. Now BRICS is coming up. BRICS by a crampono. When China bet my DBA when you see US dollar nibio. Now the Chinese yen. Yes, currently Chinese yen can we sabe decata. And BRICS also Alan Chomo currency, which I think said will confirm it in South Africa. And BRICS, you see, one BRICS currency coin equal to 55 United States dollars, making the United States dollar useless and value completely.
Maybe Timo. So question, real eba na say just media propaganda. Media eba, currency eba.
Yeah. Can we say China for launch or more data? A digital currency which you good. That ye be na ya kwa cost so dia babeto that ye coins here using a head that ye be your source of their brain. But when you red when you red that when him say ogia ye de mawa when him say gold and kasana meje asset back a sombo what you say nya say o kwase sa people ne nwura bia da ba be good dem say makwaji sika dabi so ade ba be ye aduma nkasa so per my information now nipa be bring makasa we say look the thing is out on the announcement just the 22nd 23rd in South Africa this month here so idea aba so nya ade bia just for media hype no you see the whole thing on that now BRICS in your margin said the whole thing the BBC almost 10 years and a 2 manim. But Russia and Ukraine war no about shifted bia to the extent say they did everything swiftly. They have no option because more countries are requesting because they were trying to change the narrative before they bring out the currency. But Russia and Ukraine war no I expose the West more and BRICS no I'm more change your tactics very fast because no more 10 years plan ahead. But BBR at a very fast pace.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that is what is happening.
Wow. Amazing. Timo, my observation BB. If we Russia over Ukraine, there's been some growing trend of asset anti-Western sentiments and African across the world. I'm saying yaka ho bi na amaku ba ku mienu miensa sorry Africa is here mienu wa ha yeka ho asem. Do you think it's near ECOWAS Russia Ukraine war any Africa near ECOWAS ni ade? Is it going to bring an end to the Western hegemon control over the global arena? Is it going to bring an end to that? And now say it is just going to be some kind of wind that it will pass with time. Now, the Western world, I say Gina or Mona Subim. Is it going to change things for the whole world to benefit?
It has already changed. It's just a matter of time for the West to collapse completely. You see, we were once in a unipolar world, and people must understand it. Say multipolar world, a world whereby say you don't have to depend on the Western institutions, and we must all understand this. Say we are saying going to achieve Western collapse. And you see, West, most countries, see the West to be hypocritical. Russia, evil, Russia, you will, Russia, you will. And Krobe now, they don't see Russia that way. And then Ukraine, when they are making now, West now, time Ukraine, and Emma, Ukraine, who yeah, what you say? Almost time West, because West now, Krobe, Aqua invade you. West now making more enemies for themselves. Back in the days, they target economies with sanctions. You best sanction with CCI, Opa. I was say where the Western Empire, one year the Western Empire, they sanction you. So it was a weapon. Your media di nipa bebre wo wiasa no and as some dia di nkro bebre wo wiasa dada. And to some crow way nyina na Western enemies dada. But just to say no money option. NSCC option aba. What you say? You say tuntum pe na asifi akona from afa. Okono very good. Enti a chance be na bia more than or time Western dada. Can we say Western you see economic sanctions against most countries? They blackmail countries. They blackmail leaders. UN Security Council vote ba. No makatro se kwaku. Banko vote ya maya yenjao. Another way or investment or UK. I'm saying it on authority or banks or your friends and bank accounts. That was Switzerland, the money UK name or fee. What you are saying, because you need to send baby Macron school outside or more bank account or more fee or home. Tomo catch us a massa. Yen says Sika we are no so I won't grow so. So we Jimmy are your targeting or properties, right? And we will expose you for them to arrest you in your own country. So I'm blackmailing most leaders. Enti braba say leaders na nkasa ba benya a different option. Now we are now in a multipolar world. China is there, Russia is there. They are setting up different financial institutions. And back in the days, I was saying, I was taught weapons through Western America. After the collapse of the USSR, we said Russia and Kasano no Kasebre. And now weapons manufacturing, no, the bottom of one ton movie. But this time around, the Western power on weapons or permanent. They will get it from different places. Now you have China rising up as a superpower. You have Russia as a superpower. Iran also produce weapons. Yemen,
I'm surprised. Iran.
Iran. Yes, Iran is highly developed, and they say develop hypersonic missiles, and they are developing a lot. This time, Iran can lead America when it comes to the hypersonic race. And in so there are different options for countries out there now. So it's not a matter, it's just a matter of time the Western America will pass. Now can we say Oko Asia, Iran is also creating a SWIFT system. Now Russia aims to the Western SWIFT system. So you see the Chinese own. Now Iran is also creating also Asia. Asia is the biggest continent, and most Asian countries are moving towards Iran SWIFT system. So they can now make payments, right? International payments or trading payments without using the Western America SWIFT system. So there is no way say it's just a matter of time. And to over US their trade with the rest of the world is declining. Now over bonds and we are seeing from once first no be holding reserves or US dollars. Now man for US bonds or reserve and also with sika bibra I quite say invest with US. And the US just like Sikano, no the size Sikana yompuntu juma what you say time we hear no sad amount. She say nkro bebre no and save sika US currency again. They are buying real asset which is good. Yeah, use gold mum. Instead, send to US bond, Eddie Misika to US bank. We were say US Castle winners one US it misses Usika. Ebia no Venezuela, Ebi no Iraq, Ebi no Russia. And instead, say Krubi to US bond. This time around, they are not buying US bond again. This time around, no not real asset, which is good. And they are affecting US economy badly. Into US over more economy now, it is affecting them badly. And over US is heavily indebted, over 31 trillion in debt. That caused some massive inflation back. Affecting them. But back in the days in the US, and US in it, many win it. US and one sort of printing because Bosiana or US dollars in them. Or Jebosia or no apprentice people not their bro. And so now and this time around, and probably bringing US dollar news. And to open on one some printing people are a cause inflation with you. And I idea about what affect US and the Western world. So the Western world will never be the same again. Or maybe banana. And one back in the days in the Western world, Eka say would be under 6 would be under 6. And the Western world not threatened, we have to say, when I'm on Russia near Juma. And so within the European Union, Hungary, Turkey, meaning taking European Union or NATO.
Yeah.
But eventually this time around, very good. Now we're Turkey, over Hungary, how many Russia, Juma, over G7 countries in Ankasano. Countries like Japan, which is almost one of the biggest economy we are saying. Japan only Russia that we are also non-sanctioned Russia about oil and gas, if you say that affecting the economy badly. And see free the Western world in case when we are seeing Russia near Jumano. Not even a single country in West Africa and a sanctioned Russia. We call the whole of Asia the biggest continent now. Apart from South Korea and Japan, Russia that's here, Japan. And even with South Korea and Japan, they still have some level of trade with the Russians. So even oko America ankasa on one continent America no, you have Cuba working with the Russians. So Cuba for now and Russia for years, my Russia for so much military base. It was Cuba and into America
Wow.
go for. Yes.
Wow.
So Mexico or near America or American border. So Mexico as well join the BRICS. Now we could be to say and Brazil, the biggest country in South America. Brazil is also already in BRICS. So meaning say these guys have already lost the war. They are completely gone. The battle, no, it has already been lost. It's just a matter of time for the West to collapse. This is how empires collapse. Empire ever and they collapse. So I don't think that the West big man just in the no, it is completely gone. It will never happen. That's a fact.
Wow. The West collapsing, it takes me back to the Russia-Ukraine war. If Russia borrow Ukraine, it's been more than 1 year. Yehunia Ekoso, Yehunia AC. Is it that Russia is weak to the point they said they cannot take a simple Ukraine? And I said they have a certain goal. Meka say omu wo bibia on pese omu achieve ya ewiase ni mu ana because ya nebi mo ka say Russia obora Ukraine o ka say within 3 days if obefa Kyiv ni ade na do ya so Vladimir Putin babonte be ka say they could have taken Kyiv, but as Fred is saying Zelensky nenetinasi draw some level of agreement today. Say they should withdraw. Now we'll come to the table and blah blah blah. And see. And then they see Russia is weaker now. Say or more different goal be we are seeing him. That's what I want us to know.
Now people must understand what is happening. It's not a matter of winning war within 3 days. Naturally, so we're winning. Russia's style of warfare is all about say or pursue defeating the enemy to the point to say the enemy nankasa surrender. Or person will weaken completely. That is number one. Number two, Russia for no use Ukraine at the Belgium military. Notice most of the insurgents in Africa no. Russia use once a Bahmut chepa. Russia use Bahmut training African soldiers. Or use Bahmut training the Chechen soldiers. So they are using even Ukraine Ankasa to build their own military. They are using Ukraine to test their weapons. That is number two. What I say. Number three, the Russians, notice they are not only fighting Ukraine, and the war is bigger than most people anticipate. War not some power. After Second World War,
I think say Obia friends in the phone.
you war we see that it's very big.
Okay. All right.
And can Ukraine put America?
Yes. Now I can see you, Yanko. I'm saying, yeah, Timo Timenka.
Or be me.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, me balance you
right.
Move on to me. Yes. So Ukraine, it's not about winning very fast. And Russia go. Russia can't be just about taking Ukraine in 3 days. One can't be yeah. These are things are meant for making it up. Now, Russia, who say we use Ukraine, and they are changing the world monetary system altogether. Can we say Ukraine and they creative breaks? Can we say Ukraine and Africa for sorry? Can we say Ukraine no war now air person? It is in the interest of the BRICS nations to say war will cause. Because war now air person, Russia is not just weakening Ukraine. No, Russia is weakening America and the West. So Russia targeting Ukraine. Or person we Ukraine and you know also to bomb 2 days, 3 days. They have the military capability to do that. But almost soak in Western weapons and American weapons. Now the West is out of weapons completely. Now what they say? When was the last time I say European country be asking the weapons of Ukraine? Asa now say to Biden because America is out of 150 millimeter BB. They are out of weapons basically, and into the cluster bombs. So America is running out of weapons. The West is completely gone. So Russians who use war way, and they are demilitarizing NATO or pursue weakening NATO. Now with me weakening NATO so who said the fight what Africa will be easy. See, I want the France and what was to Moko Ewa Africa no weapons away. Or Marco says some weapons in United
Ukraine.
What I say? So this is geopolitics. It's not about fighting Ukraine. Say my rainy Dabi. America could get Afghanistan is saying. And then you brought now with your weapons on. Or could get Vietnam begin to see it. America at the end of the day lose here. And Russia chose war of attrition for a purpose. There is a reason. Reason in a member one by one. If it's a one is for economic reasons, or pursue destroy Ukraine economy completely. One. Number two, or pursue weaken the West and America through this war. Number three, or changing the world narrative towards Russia. Because back in the day before the war, we say Russia for but once a war as time goes on, now people are getting to understand. More people, even in the West, and narratives are changing in the West towards Russia. People don't see Russia to be the enemy. They see their own leaders as the enemy. And you know, Russia, this war could go on for 10 years. It's just like the Cold War, right? It's just like the Cold War. So these are proxy wars which will go on. Now, in war of attrition, it's about who have the economic power, and it's about who have the military power in terms of production, right? Now, Western war we are weakening Western. Can we say Russia had destroyed most of the Western economies? Germany is struggling economically. The West is struggling economically. And let me break this news out for you here. Do you know, sir, Russia economy is now the biggest economy in Europe? What destroy all the other economies? What taking over? The Russian economy has become the biggest economy in Europe. Notice the unemployment rate here in Russia just 3%. Notice now in Russia, and for chance before the war. Notice a war when so I make Russia more independent. Back in the days, now Russia be free West any Europe war, West any America. Now Russia for the entire more employment rate is so tiny. Now they are forced to produce everything locally. Companies now they are now opening up. Your Muankasa a producing Yema or Muankasa crew. Because now we are first no to free West and all. And now we are for Romania. Then a war into Russia for starting cars or Russia crew, which is opening up job opportunities. McDonald's and more converting into local restaurants. Yeah, no, and also mukrumu for all these restaurants and other businesses. Every Russia, now this time around, converting into local production. And are creating jobs in the country. And into the Russian economy, it grew at a very fast pace. So this war is all about strategy. It's not about say you got to bomb the MP. Can we say Russia or wasting weapons or wasting the secret of Ukraine and offer something in return? And over so Russia is not interested in capturing the whole of Ukraine. Offer the whole of Ukraine dam and now the Ukraine Krampuche will be ampe. Can we say Ukraine at the car? Yes, can we say Ukraine? The next 5 generations in Ukraine cannot pay now I'm making some small analysis for Hama. Freemind. When you say Ukraine, a day be a Ukraine castle bet you $300,000. Ukraine bet my US for the next 3,000 years. Abra Bosnia Wajan won't meet you. $300,000. Today be a Ukraine see meet you America $300,000. I'll bet US over 3,000 years. Abra Sika America Dama won't meet you. So Ukraine is currently enslaved completely. Ukraine companies are devastated. Now, in the year 2021, Vladimir Putin is calculating war win. They follow war. In 2021, Vladimir Putin actually letter about Bonchi. Now, Vladimir Putin can say, or say Ukraine political system is set in a way say West Ukraine loans no more than Ukraine West ebeba beji Ukraine ajapade nyina sisia AC sisia Ukraine war do you know say ene opesa we be man na person free Ukraine utua be 50,000 ema agents and so no much me do free Ukraine And to Ukraine for men, almost tonton mufie no ma Japade at a very cheap price. Now, almost Japade we wine neto. The rich capitalists in America and the West, any other to Ukraine and Japade. You see, Ukraine is say Black Rock mo NSC or moto Vanguard mo eneto. This is your moto to Ukraine in say and no ma Japade akenina ejomo. And Western is worth because Western target, near the Donbass, Crimea, because this is where Ukraine and said to do an aquakudi, the arable lands, I mean the farmlands, or port war, Odessa, and Russia just outside in Kakran so I can also Western American so chafa, Ababe won't change. So Ukraine, no, and yes, Ukraine, GBB, and then Ukraine, war way, and then Ukraine as the longer this war goes on, the more devastating Ukraine is becoming. Because war near concern, the more now your money loan. Loan also a demand and a crepon a Dutch. The more now Ukraine more together. What you say? So people read in between the lines and understand. It's not about pay young to bomb. Now America call your friend is saying Iraq. On himself first 1 week, America brought cities down in the name of killing Saddam Hussein. It took you years, France and what's what to bomb pay and no more to about dining and so forth. That is not what.
Abusuya, I'm say. Obi asa fenesi mu bi mana asa network na ka ne ho nti no musi abutre kakra asemo chale yeah Timo
Bro
chale omo frefre o
bro easy
sanity yanko oh chale yeah bibi adem you ton kapa
and also the network come of 4G plus
come up I'm so surprised yeah I come here be surprised you know the Ghana network pa ni chance sa no
that is the network abandon.
I'm telling you.
Yes, you know, so it's not about say Russia check that be anything here. Because we say Second World War, no, it took Russia closely to 5 years. But we need Germany money, or defeated Germany to the extent that Germany and surrender. So Russia is not always interested in war of maneuver warfare. They fight in attrition way. So that is their war tactic. And you have been a BBC. You know, in Russia at the time of Napoleon, a war of attrition, Catherine the Great, war of attrition, Second World War of attrition, even Finland, the executive way. Russia for 1939, they choose war of attrition. So a Russian warfare, it is part of the Russian warfare. And Tinesa Ukraine, Santi, Dabi, Ukraine, and Ukraine is a big country. And the second biggest country in Oko Europe is the second biggest country. And when it comes to arming, Ukraine is heavily armed more than any Western country. Before some way back, yes, Ukraine is armed more than any Western country. No country in the West can be compared to Ukraine about weapons. That time now weapons so mukudano. And to Ukraine, Crampon and Russia, they 1 year we now Germany and France, matter
of months.
So
all right, Ghana and Russia. History say Emrana Kwame Nkrumah Ghana president, not Russia any Ghana friends because now Russia for Ghana ama Ghana for a atomic energy. But I'm say after the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana as a been more to the western side than the Russian side. A dear Benny Chiji, a dear necessary, a dear na ama Ghana every the Russian side that could be the west.
Okay. The amount Ghana be free Russian side, no one a coup d'etat in 1966, you know. Can we say you two Kwame Nkrumah free idea so and by then Ibenya the Second Republic, and Chibian Ibenya Second Republic in 1969. Akufo-Addo papa ne Buzia no mbeti Ghana dim. No ma start ye ya no mo di bibia ekoma west no. And then number one. Number two, and so yeah, the collapse of the USSR. Kamu se bedru baby in Russia and Kasano, they also went through their own problems. So Russia and Kasana and Kasa free Africa. After the collapse of the USSR, no, under Boris Yeltsin time, to Vladimir Putin time, move to Africa completely. Yeah, no more Kasa focus on so more Kasa build mukuru. So move to Ghana, one number two. So a bit my make my Kasa coup d'etat in 1966, So one coup d'etat, two is the collapse of the USSR. So then could do Western answer, and we were forced to be under the Western global hegemony because I'm going to control all the world financial institutions. And to say banners also in the Western India, they sabotage your government and make sure they collapse your economy. Now, this is one thing most Ghanaians don't know. Russia for Krampo Bokwame Nkrumah under Khrushchev. Khrushchev and a creative Ukraine. Ukraine is a fake country. Ukraine in your mind. Ukraine in your mind be a fake.
US. Ukraine a fake country.
Yes. This is a fact. USSR no any creative Ukraine. And to where Ukraine Hungary assassin who Ukraine, Finland assassin who Ukraine, Russia assassin who Ukraine, Moldova assassin who Ukraine. And to Ukraine no a country on its own. Russia for na man for assassin no mudi be creative Ukraine no. And think Ukraine ankasa you Ukraine so sa dabi Russia for the creative Ukraine in this way and to offer the 17th century map now Ukraine existed dabi there was no Ukraine, there was no country like it. Everybody can search for the 17th century map. Go and look at it and come back. You understand what I'm telling you? And Russia the creative Ukraine and it's now there's no way say Russia better now say Ukraine and could do Western and dabi even see that obian to na munda. And map in the now where Russia or attack Odessa now more attack on person Odessa port no into a port now it will Russia for will get more closer to Moldova and when Moldova so they are ethnic Russians in Moldova so Russia for are only taking the part now or more Russia for they are not interested in the part of more Russia for no can we said that ethnic Ukrainians, so Ukraine kasa no Russia everything. Because can we say in Second World War under Stepan Bandera, ethnic Ukrainians, call Poland ko kunkuma man for kwa, call Russia no kunkuma man for no. So what this mentality of supremacy, person within that area. So Ukraine for no that mentality, and Russia for wouldn't like to even rule them in the first place. So that is one thing people must understand.
Wow. Timo, this question is from somebody. Or say, if Russia loves Africa so much, why didn't they intervene during the murder of Muammar al-Gaddafi? Or say Russia to Africa say didn't them Gaddafi? Russia for Anya Honfi, Russia for Anka Bibia.
Oh no, people should understand one thing. Russia for any philanthropist or sorry and one say we walk on top of no maso when you might be near Bejina Hokoma. Oh now bre. Oh our bre no one corner horse on that boa or no number boa. And the Guinea for mono moko for mobile no mamba. Mali for breno omukungu mamba. Ghana uncle for mono one so mabaha. Omumba. Notice that the Russian policy here is simple. The Russians will never intervene in the affairs of another country without you bringing them. They will come. One for man bar or mumba. One hour hotero, over Congo Grandpa, now Patrice Lumumba. Now man for be for say he should work with the Russians. But Lumumba nana so thing. Lumumba anti bra ye babe ku Lumumba na afre na Lumumba echo the Soviet Union. Soviet Union due to muso babe boano. Anti bra Soviet Union Grandpa babe bano. Now West any America became orchestrating assassination that it was too late for them to even help Patrice Lumumba. So yes, Russia for now, but and one say Omanana Namamo Kobo amount for Sadabra. Over Syria. Syria for ko mo top Russia for anko. Ko pem say Syria for kata ko bi o mano ka say mo pese Russia for no babo mo. Enti wo na wo bre na say wo anko no so on babo wa. O so already eno aso ansesa ni tuo mbegu mamu. Na obeduru ho no na so shitu soldiers kuna. Dey no worker. It's own friend. Own friend is on babo wa. That is when you come in. So people should understand one simple logic here. Muammar Gaddafi and Kofre Russia for or from one that cannot see a different case. But one friend at the other number. I'm on board.
Now, Timo, be a hen a year. Say, ye Africa for ye G free the West. Now, you're calling in Russia to come and support us in terms of our own security. And they say the whole 54 nations, you know, ye can you boom. Now, you're forming Yankasa army to defend the African continent. Between these two, no, they are here now. We say, Africa, because yeah, now, Bibrinaka say, yeah, free the Western world in some. SRD and Russia for them is running away from one colonial master to the other. It is a young Casabina army and defending Africa. And they say, yeah, they and Sabasha Russia for them. They are here.
You hear Russia before uniting. That is one thing people should understand. Now, coming up with one military and other stuff, you know, you have to first of all be independent. One, you're independent. Whom we are colonizing, also say me for coming army above. We a colony of Obi. You must first of all fight for your independence before even thinking about bringing your military together. The West will never allow, say, Africa for a military boom. Dabi, can we say then America you took Kwame Nkrumah free idea so any new thing. Into a more say was here coming together no. You try under 1963 Casablanca group Anya Juma. Muhammad Gaddafi was trying to do the same thing Anya Juma. So in order for us to come together, no, we must first of all fight together to liberate ourselves. So even what the young fan say West and Okampo Bepene say yanka military boom. Yanka military boom at the end of the Koko. The Ghana, you know, Mugu,
gas is crying free.
And yet, and your weapons. So, whether you can one bumo, you can one bumo, we still need somebody out there to support us with weapons to fight. And whether we like it or not, Russia is a big player here. And there's no way say Western about my weapons to say logically it doesn't make sense. And Russia also Africa as an opportunity. Because yes, we are quite on the enemy. And to also per se, yes, you could see an enemy to another brave weapons as a massa monjina monkunjibufa hudi. So we just have to work hand in hand. We just have to take advantage of the power play, right? And we've been at China, and we've been at Vietnam, So say that is when we unite. And they should start uniting. But say I feel na yakwaka yombo monokradi enye dumaka. We say still na a lot of Western puppet. We say Guinea for air quadi or mofa who the ECOWAS and Kokora we and so kutia Guinea for. So how do you say we should come together? Coming together, they should be out of the table because we still have a lot of Western puppets in Africa. They wouldn't even allow our unity. Only the few countries now my ready so quadi mofa who you know. Now it is more dangerous. See any Russia near Jumana. When you see any Russia here Jumana, and dangerous to say you know man near Jumane. Now if you only say you know more Jumane, no means they said they are coming to colonize us tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if we work with them today. Bra West and the air falling on Africa must rise at the same time. Can we say currently both China and Russia, no, about influence they are weak. So omu use soft power. Anything we say Russia 23 billion or they are Africa. Anything we say China no see are dying they are peddling for influence in Africa. And we see taking advantage of that. Sisi ano omo peddle for influence no ni ebetima force omo ama omo asi factories asia. Sisi ano omo peddle for influence no any ebetime ne Russia ye adwuma ama na ma weapons. Any eni ne betima ye adwuma ama na si weapons manufacturing companies. Ebia na Iran use no. Iran use common sense. Because over Russia peddle for influence over Asia, and Iran is taking advantage of them, and they are using them to build their weapon manufacturing companies. And this is here now peddle for influence. Wahano, and I win in a bit me yeah, Juma say, open say we see factories. Yeah, one kasa obey wutu, open to training. Now obey do. Now what try Emma West no for we no benya power we are. Opa no obey opa one yet. So it's more dangerous. It's just a matter of using your brain and common sense. Ultramar Western for Libya, he became the sole superpower up there. So once the West is falling, Africa must rise at the same time. And both Russia and China are vulnerable at this particular point in time. We can use them to our own advantage. We shouldn't wait to say West and Africa, you know. Now, more can say, my and Russia, okay, yeah. Yantrans and Yanko Mountains don't go by say West in Indiana. And
mountains. Yeah.
I still don't understand what they expect us to do. What do you expect us to do on the continent? Sisi one or two on Nipana or any aircono, any pana what in chem.
Yeah.
Nibi Biachem. Sisi also say my when you knew Bia and Juma Manipana boy. And Tientina would be near Yamebe. And I say, Mufri said Jesus will be saved about form Haba Kwamayana. It doesn't work that way. You need fully men. The Russians need Africa, China need Africa, and we equally need them. In our case in Ukraine, we need them more than they need us. Western America could do some Ukraine and Russia to bomb. America by Africa 2 days to Krampum Bagana have go bet my clay in no baby. What I say? In the case we need each other, but we need them more. Right?
Yes.
I'll be the resource. Our resource, we need China market. China need our market. People should understand one thing. Almost so many never have because of our resource. Massa, with African resource or not, Russia will continue to be powerful. Russia for the over will have to uranium nuclear weapons. One of their biggest ally is Uzbekistan. And Uzbekistan is uranium chain in African country. Uzbekistan is very close to Russia. So people should understand one thing here. Resource now, can resource 40% depend on Africa. 60% now can will baby. And China be before the Kasama more might be in your say.
Your resource,
resource and just to say, just happen, say, your continent include to 1 hour resource. Oko Western Europe, almost Eastern Europe, almost one resource. Oko Asia, they also have resource. Amazon rainforest and a any Brazil. Diana, train you
as a young girl for one, they can easily come and take everything and nobody cares. I don't think I'm saying we never have. Yes.
Very good. That's the best word. And you'll be at me sorry time the Koran no about no best side will be no.
Free book.
Man, what they say young one your resource that be including this will be. And China no here China market. Now resource now ya can be before a resource so or be about for a resource so dear na wo. Now you see a person when China ya Juma be na person any oyaka. Dear now we and apart from resource trading and be trading then a person in trading. Number 2 and what's the ton resource no? Yan ton resource na economy in be collapse ye here market. Where Russia once a Western target your economy so more ton resource. So some so man to more resource I affect the economy no. Ebiana West no Iraq. Almost sanction Iraq resource. One the Iraq aye. Omo di bi Sudan. One the Sudan economy aye. Omo di bi di Venezuela economy. And the resource no kwampo to the amawa e yenshira the man. Because you be amanato. What we are against in say, oh, Baba is a resource on the Ako free. And I say, oh, create war. Now what they are resource. China
Now
and who African leader Baku Krampo say or best resource. Can you tell me one African leader China for Kunu? That be China for no their businessmen. And in every business, you know, one ma gina nya juma, the basis sanity a fact. When you be kwa kodiga, body na down, na say body duru, na say also turn one CD. The oba better body then can say, oh, one CD na for do, na 100 million. Abi, what turn body and also who say body duru no, ebia me the beji ebia 100 million, na say 10 CD. Example na me set it. And the na you want China for no more ba. The wo peno, and no be ya amount, China 40. The resource on one person would be free with crew ma, or better as the amount. Oko Uganda and then now Uganda for say yam person mo best say resource ako. Ye person China for ni factories wa ha. Now mo process ye raw materials no eso ayi o process ye raw materials no into finished products. Ghana ye will go. I ain't in ye gold ring and necklace ni do Ghana. I didn't know also what now who blame China. One more betra ye galam say Uganda for na musi factory o mu ye chain ring and watch no. Ya bin ya adwuma China the o man kwan on the oba beto good ne dia kọ wa man kwan you force him to build the factories there now we raw materials no if you turn it into finished products at the end of the day you need a market out there to sell it. So people should understand that the world economy is intertwined. Africa don't need anybody. We don't need anybody, no, or resource no berry. And I don't believe
very. Obi a okra e money be fra go choso hia obi a. Now be that's right.
Then now e mo kura untimi bia di ateche na abu Ghana no. E mo kura untimi bia so I don't need anybody. I think the moment you see say you hear obi no, it just make you ignorant and it simply means that you don't understand the world economy.
Yes. Timo, mami bisa we na fi mimi phone lines now omo a pese ye share adwen somra so memo on 20 minutes be now almost somra so be show mo adwen. The world we've had a first world war, second world war near day. Now in your own mind, you know, do you think say near ECOWAS the world must prepare for a third world war? And as a BBA ain't even secret.
Nobody can predict the future. One thing, so the Bible shows to first, me the can be said, West, especially America, any reverse gear. America start to war. I just want Borona could be as an America for what you say. Some America, you be your veteran anything. Number two, so say by being we are develop here in terms of infrastructure. No, countries be now very skeptical. This is not 1939 and ya bobo pattern and tabo dan near the man near that atakwa me damuno and now man for investigate no be dem crash of the home blog dan yan cry na blog dan na atakwa me na near titi by now ko kuma so ko sehwi wo ko he people are investing me the Ghana example and this also na ko abrochire so they've invested a lot into infrastructure which makes it very difficult for countries to really go directly into war. So third world war crampo be kwoswa omo be use nkuro na omagimi no mo amunyi adwen no na omo di mokuro my battlefield na omo abro mo ho na omo asese mo niema ebia na omo pese omo ye na Africa he omo ECOWAS ye wu omo tiko so no ebia no ye piapia omo na omo so amunyi nyansa omo be use ECOWAS battlefield Ukraine for ahunu nyansa no na ye di omo kura da na battlefield no ye omo kono America na Russia for omo nyina wo nkuro Ti America and Russia person omoko adenti no monko to omokro mu no omoko Ukraine enti say why you so ti abebre enti I think say the third world war no ebesi krompo na ebesi wo nkuro a magimi amunim nyansa no omodo mu nkuro na beda no mako ba bia wi asia develop what dey there ebe dey say ye behu the 1940 19 dabi 45 style of war na there dabi ombe use am for nkuro so third world war krompo beba I don't think say Yabakon America, NASA, Russia, NASA, Japan.
I see. My most question we meaning say we follow up on TikTok, which I believe say you are aware. Now, meaning say you believe so much in Kwame Nkrumah's ideas of an African, we coming together as one nation here. Do you think that idea no possible ebia in the near future no Africa for nyina yebetimi aka ye ho abom abeye one nation with one leader, one parliament, one government, one everything. Possible, sir. And I say, it might be possible, but in a different way. Say now, what do you see?
Majority say possible. Now, currently, I think that most people are not aware of this. Your Africa 2050. Now, currently, your leaders, puppets here, draw a plan for Africa unity. But the vision is Africa 2050. Africa 2050. Now, bra Africa, what say you create and say currency, need currency back, and into now you be Africa continental trade. And you see our Africa hanumna, musi yembie borders na yendiga. Into this time you be Africa continental trade. This is the agenda almost set it to say by 2023 by 2024 Africa hanyina yendiga abra borders and restrict here. Ya be a tomb. So by 2030, Africa per se is currency back. So it is possible. But Russia and Ukraine war, we know, I've been making it more easier. Yeah, I think I say leaders and a bit more money. Yeah, it will make it more easier for us because more countries are becoming independent. Now, when you're Burkina Faso, Chad, very good. Make us a primary for Chad. Chad is Niger. Chad is closer to Niger. Only Niger, border. Yeah, right. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Chad, Burkina Faso, Niger, and other countries are working together now. Now, Kenya and Uganda in East Africa, these countries are also working together. So I think it's more countries are now working together on the continent now. And I think it is possible. It will be much easier for us. Now, more countries in Africa are so much do any BRICS. Or more do any BRICS now, why can't we spend the same currency? It will be much easier for all of us. You see, the main say, Nkruno Maya Kubitano, Epese, or more home home. Security or currency. That is what I'm hearing. I don't know whether that is true or not, but I think it is possible. It will be much easier. Over East Africa, so almost whatever they join, almost couldn't so almost join it. Yeah, almost some United East Africa. Dana doctor, one doctor from Uganda, East Africa, person more come who boom. No be crew back. So it will be much easier. West Africa for now, yeah, can who boom. East Africa, so some person come who boom. Now, North Africa, almost so they see or Libya, so they are very conscious. And now where Egypt are, almost so I could Egypt to also so AD or Moho, almost so I could to Western puppet and so Africa. So I think
almost the troops about Niger, no correct.
I
think Algeria,
yes, Algeria for also interest because Algeria the only can one ECOWAS. Seven ECOWAS because ECOWAS intervening militarily, it will affect them. So almost so interesting. So Algeria there, I'm fully aware. I don't think say Egypt, Algeria. Yes.
I see.
Algeria, I'm aware of that.
I see. Yes. But I wish you have more just in a message and more than I'm like in a motion in intimate connection. Many a year Timo Media and action come on. Timo Media you'll be me say by we are say I'm just history near there. I can tell you say the guy is very intelligent. The guy is very, very, very intelligent. Now baby I dream my best 15 minutes per person most more brasso. Now if you saw any question be an answer also any contribution be what me at the abasunti number ni open so basum say obi kra baso that I'm the first caller. Yeah, hello. Hello. Yes sir. Me wa kwaba. Udi baby afre free why? Sweden. Yeah, question. Yes. Question. Wait, me about 1 minute per. It's a question. It was a contribution. Yeah,
Master. Open now. So fantastic.
Yes.
Africa is free because Ghana because of I said quick Ghana. I'm a move with me.
Yeah.
Oh, Africa, so I say it can book so Nigeria president who are you who dear.
Oh, to an house print to qua. Oh, to an house print to qua. Amanga.
Mr. Timo, I have a target in TikTok.
Hey, Timo Media, we say, me am a crew pal. Ni video be any mention. Very intelligent guy.
Yeah, almost over for almost.
Yeah. But that's it, bro.
Yeah.
Me that's it, bro. Now, Tinubu, Timo Media, what you grab on auntie? Oh, yeah, ngeng, oh, Casa, ngeng, now, yeah, what was open the bar. Among our name. I wish you had abandoned that honor plus 254731834 to wait me our friend as my baby, you know, so watch what you and answer what you
me speech no reading, you know, just and run, no, yes, speech no reading. People are Ukrainian and say, cha cha cha, and walk military. We will intervene military is still on the table. Military option is still on the table. Oh, yeah, Mawa, sick I grandpa, this is not Capra, wouldn't you? Also, say,
imagine, yeah, hello, brother.
Hello, Freemind.
Yes, I would do what baby are free.
Free Germany. We did the memo. But last me know call the crash Satana. The same name with German me no video call. But a very sad set Ghana for in particular. Yeah, been excuse me to say I'm sorry.
Why?
Yeah, what you I try to patch up. Matrache. Now, only a fucking so now, and I'm opportunity Kabi Omabia, Juma year, na healthcare, accommodation is anomano, amophobia, a Ghana, no, yes, I didn't know. I really to do another, most especially Ghana. I'm telling you, you got to go for would you come before street?
Yes.
I'm telling you, maybe we had them for and rap me a great juma. Now, me quite my man or buy. Say, I know we are Jumana. What she when I'm saying, I know if I'm
I have Bruni
coming from
Bruni, this house. I know.
Sound a boss who knows, but Master, maybe two questions may escape good, send me Priamo Bia Giogano, the Daniel de McCoy. I am maybe when I made it. Obi for me to find. Only our Ghana, maybe one told me, I'm from
yes.
So what I say,
yes.
Maybe a man who better and Sanamakaimo because you have a
yes.
So what I say, I'm telling you the fact. I'm on for a big battle. Tell a go for Mrs. Anijapa, you know, you know, the economy, Mrs. the cost wrong. Now, me, I'm a BBC for more even a comment here, but I'm sense to me, Dino, me read name and no, me create my name is fit. I'm a sample duty. Me say, one next target, I best story revolution and the cost of Congo. I'm telling you, the purpose na make a show.
Yes.
Tell them, go interview where Germany have transportation among Scar. All the trambas, Matra Buchache, Matra Italy, Matra Spain, Matra Austria, my last from Spain, Spain, I'm about almost great European countries, Matra, all of them, Matra.
Wow.
So what I say, but you go on to Pentino, I have an opportunity to have a show in my most especially blacks and
may say, Nia okay, Tina Ghana for the tell you. May say, now we are me ba had a church and Niger conflict. May say, be now sending message in Dibatem, and I'll pay dear visa, and I went into a war for the Western one. And me per visa. Me per visa. Me dear then.
Me house na unim aya nipa binu mo me se Ghana for ye ko mo ye ka se but adwene enye dwuma. I'm telling you adwene enye dwuma o wo dey me se de ekosi me se bi ase na edane o na krofo yi na me ya do po na table no esesa ye de dua pa de ro muturu
that's it bro. That's why. Mati, thank you so much. Yeah, Timo, sanity, Unya Becassa, we pay one flow, and our American visa, and when Yantin of both the Western world, near the now Russia, blacks are not even allowed to get. Now you can't say movie.
Now, I face the same challenges. Oh, this about you visa one and a box a color, you know, but wait, your visa. Maybe this time, no, my American embassy could always say. When here, major mama office, crying about me, American embassy. Me can
Oh, brother.
oh, where this me could be
Rather.
anytime.
Messi, Timo.
Oh, yeah,
Let me chip in this. Sanya, me know Kunu Shasia from Mali, and Aba Bedu Niger. Do you think it's a better swap and I say Niger will be the last stop? And I say Yanchi GBB, I mean, so many countries also wake up through the same way or the same channel.
I think it's very dangerous. You see, one thing is saying Kadienke wo enkrufu frosona nanka emabune wo ebia enkrufu froson so condemn a ke different. You know say tama kudita besi bia no, most of the youth in West Africa and other part of Africa, they celebrate. They wish to say the AC wo hono ke visu si wo mind so.
Yes.
Let me say this without fear. Many people wish to say coup d'etat kasi wa Ghana. Yes. But that is what people wish. You cannot say coup d'etat, but that is what the ordinary person out there wish. That is the fact. Yes. But Nigeria for crowd the thing budi and come see you coup d'etat be coup d'etat Nigeria no. Amount for be bushiri akwa we for bia Cameroon. Amount for try so be coup d'etat bre. Do you know say for the past 8 years Cameroon for aircon, Cameroon for war, or more the Anglo
on time to Cameroon ground. It means spending about half of the year in France. Probably about half of the year in France.
Oh no, as I query. And over Cote d'Ivoire, the same thing. Cote d'Ivoire also are going through similar issues. So I think it's I didn't start to see a cast and can go baby and I charge for the who no more diabetum. Now man for body so ye ABC Mali once a man for starting free child the cry and about Mali now man for body so Mali. Yet to one I didn't be Guinea. Would you have Domboya dear or Jen or Ghana? Raman for celebrity Domboya. Yet to one yeah, still now people are celebrating this military leaders. So that means to say, if something is not done now, I think I don't think it's there's any reverse gear. I think the whole thing is spreading across Africa. And I think our leaders are very skeptical. Anything or more,
Now, Timo, last question now for you, wrap here. Most of this, South Sudan for here, almost sorry to Abengui. Yeah, na uti almost semwa. They say they are coming to transition and give the country back to civilian government, democratic government. Is it true or the Mama can say by doing that, don't you think the same thing of bringing in puppets, leaders and governments will continue? Because who are we so Janina Ubabe Pan way free one? Also want and outside the mouth will go from. So how sure are you say Sandy Panonso Urban will not be controlled by the same Western people? Do you think Bibi Sayam Koswana, or you have a different,
Okay, military coup d'etat, no. What's here, TBBS? Most of the military, because that's all more your minor free words are you purpose and very good. I understand the question. Now the question is what I may person may answer in this way, in a simple way. They are not just handing over to the civilian government. Whenever there is coup d'etat, they make sure that they stabilize the country, draw the architecture of the country before they will hand it over to the civilian government. Coup d'etat is Mali, ABC, Chad, still the military need this one. So they want to make sure that they completely get out of France global hegemony completely before they hand it over to the civilian government. And another thing, so they say, military leaders in India, but most of them, they don't have the experience to rule a country. And to Jeremy Bay, but about economic side, they didn't have the experience. Until Jeremy started working with the likes of Professor Mel Simon, they started working with John Ajekunku Formo, because but about the economic side, say strategizing near mana, they don't have it. The only thing they want to make sure that they get the country out of France influence, then hand it over to the civilian government. ABC Vietnam, ABC China, ABC baby Pipri. So I think I don't think it's a Omon Bebano would be like the other guys. No, that is why Mali, I said Kito Tawai, or that's where president or that's military news. And to where even over Nigeria, Oma appointing new prime minister. Because military in India, Oma Bejo minor, but they don't have the experience to rule the country in terms of economically, they don't have it. That is the fact. And that is why Oma appointing new prime minister over Nigeria. So I'm sure they'll get the country out before the vote. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take time. It will take time.
Right. Ibesa o kan bibi kire omo aya na mpempi omo taka se say ye pe visa bi na ye nti na ye time America for na ye mpe West na sem na okọ Russia grand a blacks are not allowed and they are maltreated over America. Blacks have the freedom and I say there are some black people they side so much with the Western world they don't even want to hear the name of Russia. I want you to tell them something.
You see, a part of colonization. During the time of slavery, I've forgotten the exact word, but near slave master, no, ultimately your papa bako. Now, one who is only the yame. Now, feed you would do bonnet when blacks are respected in Europe or America, black event. Do you think that the blacks have the same advantage of the white man? Why do we have black life matter? And then the blacks are Europe.
Yes, I'm saying Obia South Racing into Musia Butreka Krebi, some few seconds of a
Yeah, but one anonymous that is that you know.
Yes. Yanko, maybe Adam Claire to say Yanko. Yeah, Timo Betonka Yanko.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Timo Yanko, right, Yanko.
Okay, good. Bibini can we say Bibi my muhana ya woman. You will never be respected anywhere. Whether Europe, whether China, whether I don't care. Baby anywhere you be black man. Okuro muhana you okuro. Why don't you fight to make Africa a better place for you? Yeah, 10 biamo sorry. And unya visa for America. I didn't think I want to make a continent like America. Why are blacks always focused on the black man must travel all the time and be more treated outside? Me American embassy minimum and I'll compare visa and awanya. Then me compare visa our American embassy in Amanya. I think I make my travel visa for Germany here.
Germany.
I mean I think it's a very foolish mentality. And I walk high yembu black man, black man. Didn't I walk in the first place? You are going there because one kasa ukuro na wotimine enye. And the Russians and Chinese Chira said the ube ukuro muye. Enye so obre 8. France is making 500 billion out of the continent. Now France bred the people of Niger to $20 million say me bro 8. What 8? We don't go with Africa. When I say World Bank Corona ba almost 200 million aid or say 100 million aid. 800 million. Our first oil field, they are taking 70% and they are giving us 30%. If this is not thievery, if this is not criminality, what again? A small fraction of what they steal from us. And
make it 85% of your money in Paris. Now, wow, here be what's up as a loan, as a interest. Wait.
Until before that, I see ISM Dre. Yes, and name. Wow, what you could do at 2 now disika 1 billion to what? Adre, ebe you could do bacono. Adre in Nimians as a sika 1 billion. It me talk what do bottle. Unim Sanya. It's to age get to webinar. Now before budget so America for bray 8 or bray 8. Now win him the all through. I didn't think I won't focus on say, oh, make you grow ye to the extent say, oh, corner hustle will pay aid and also on brew aid. Aid, you're fun to throw mine, or be no the aid that throw mine that. Aid, my man can't throw winning say, now Cameroon, Ghana, now you're crumping your China for aid. South Korea, now you have South Korea. Go on that one and chroma. And I
Wow.
trauma Korea mo na Korea for na ye Kia Hyundai Samsung mo and I remember be a China for duru ye remember be a dasonam enti yemfa agent chiro man yempe kwan a ye be free baby a ye wonu completely na wokwa ha yembu black man we a black man baby a black man will be respected in Africa. Period.
Now you say
Nobody will
Timo,
ever
yeah,
disrespect
cry
them.
a we ho. I didn't just say, yeah,
Ah,
cry a we ho. Now
yeah,
the brony boo. Eh?
Fulani for one the good Fulani ni wa mokra mo de mo one the good Fulani ni wa Ghana. Gawo for ya na ba be bubu mo re one the bu ya cry ti akrampo no we are resist towards each other. Whether South Africa for cry there so now we can say open respect to him, open respect to China. Traha make your continent a better place. And why say yanka I no be crowd that no be biza me say oko Russia for parliament I be before ni ho oko Europe or more black politicians. Now anya bia no that their questions so miss me biza mo say Russia for say na why Africa for parliament. I didn't think Russia for the mungo ni. I Africa or Russia. Why do you want a black man in Russian parliament for? I mean, why is the motive?
What do you want?
Oh, go to the parliament. Also, say I didn't mean in the parliament. Who in the parliament? Some George money or could to Muguano. Mama Yangene, you wise Munde Guano. Mommy Yangene, Mommy Yangene critical. Now, when dancing, Mununa, compare this and Yama on a day. No compare this Yama, at least I'm fighting for my continent. I mean, one visa I need that. Mina mi be though. Once no obidi biba no so be failing and me. Bema, me see one pages now, be 50 page documents.
Oh yeah, Bebri. I'm telling you.
The bunch. Oh,
I'm telling you.
Obianu watia butria onya baka wamba. Eya juma ne ni ho your man na say omo mo ti abrochiro do one akra they are fed up. They are fed up with the injustice system they want to come back. So it's not about I want to go to America, I want to go to here and I didn't get that, I'm doing this and that. I mean, it has got nothing to do with that. Thank you.
But that's great. Your last words now, your call.
My last words will be simple. ECOWAS, the people of Niger. My last words will be say, I will be mine. We are rising at least. I quite remember you will be starting na ye kasafa de ekosono. Na abifo be ataye. And then I can see some growing support from our own people. People are gradually waking up. This is the only place I be before ye bet me akon. What you say, Oko China no be could do one obit my if it's a whole new group. Oko Germany no be kwa your bonia. What was it that be me kotom and saw how one ran a prison. Massa, I had here, I hate you. Aha, and a team. Aha, you beat my idea pay. And we have nowhere to go than this continent. That is a fact. Thank you.
But that's very brave. They can say create YouTube channel. What you are creating channel still and not creating?
My creating. Now many Fiona, some lady from British. Now we are working on YouTube. Yes, it's a we are creating contents across. Yes, that is yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Charlie. The same name now, Timo Media 360 now.
Timo Media 360 now. Yes. Just recently, creative contents across. Obama shows so now so Tana say I press here. Marconi shows so other two people so Obama ho just recently you taking it. Yes, build the yeah.
Nice one. Timo, it's been a very great conversation. In fact, there be a Michelle be a mission idea for me follow also on TikTok, ni Facebook, ni baby. I learned so much from you, Mission idea through Opa. It has been for your time. Say my mom earlier notice biasa, but I know say most often now will schedule near tight. Me for now or northern region now or Accra now na Charlie, we a busy guy. But the two anymore on your reba sunti. Me that's be brave. Thank you so much for your time and you better kasa back door. Why? Me that's be brave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Bye. Yes, Ebusia, Timo Media, and I'm in Kano, Oko Facebook, the pages near Timo Media and Timo Media 360. And those of you on TikTok also know. Odi akotini ye pa on TikTok, Timo Media. Ono de ninsemo a okay ni geopolitics, near koso we say Russia, Ukraine war near the he has an in-depth knowledge on those things as semo follow na wait me sua bibi. Every note, message semo na mo follow. Say so they was create a YouTube channel. Timo Media, monko YouTube na mon follow no so Niger. And kakra yi na yensua de. Me da mo nyina mase mo a mutumi ba so kire mo adwe no me da mase. Mo a mugina so nyina so message obi an like it na mo share na mo nua bi nso ensa intimi enka program we. And dey meant me and go live on Facebook at the same time. Tino me we are me download it na masanso akwa stream me on Facebook Freemind Family News. Oko TikToker, we are also live. Freemind Family, and those of you YouTube also know Freemind Family and Freemind Family News be the backup page. We also have a website, www.freemindfamily.org. Jordan born in Semi, that's Jordan, and Kofi Azuma, I'll say shout outs to the Maya and Kevin Taylor. All right, thank you. Zigman, so I see you sign bad contracts, you live by them. It's as simple as that. And Jordan Alomenu or say, how are you? Or ye na your family. That's it. Tebusia for Ahaya na midem WBC. Have a lovely evening from me from here. They had about 10:42 p.m. I had to be say you lady Ghana by 3 hours. Sorry. Sorry. Nairobi Hano, you lady Ghana by 3 hours. Tiana, sometimes they walk crab 1 a.m. Nothing will be free. Mestre. Sam Reno, Madame Erin Chain. Why? 1 a.m. the offer me a wrong time. Cry. Tia Mushano say, Hano. Be Ghana by 3 hours. Timo frame yeah, I'm taking the time into consideration. And as all frame is not cement me afa. Just send a voice note. Udie bisa omo aya na metane obudin komono. Me yobia I find time to go through all my chats. even Facebook rampo any YouTube na me nkoa ni one of the few social media people person yeah that be nyamre just say I go through all the comments and I always try to respond to each and every comment. Why that? Because me fa madrid ni agro. Ti abribia no se study me even on YouTube crampo no I go through the comments, I react, I respond, I engage with you people. Unya ni baby just a hanko. Most of the social media bloggers, they just post the content. They don't care whatever you write. But I still take time to go through everything to read and to give a response. Into the same way, if you come onto WhatsApp on so I take your audios, your messages very seriously. Into friend as me and far, just send a voice note and I'll listen. And when he has said me I'll surely give you a befitting reply. A very simple thing. Message mention also. But I want to say Ahayana Medemo EBC. I 10:43 p.m. from here in Nairobi, Kenya. Send you the chairman Freemind. Enjoy the rest of the time. Makram.